it's Rebecca from the Glitch Stitchery. I'm here today with another Sips and Stitches video. This one's a little bit different than my other ones. I had mentioned in another earlier video, I think I posted that one, that I had wanted to try different coffees from Japan and Korea and China too, and just try to see if I could find one similar to one that I had a long time ago that I had been sent as like a free gift with a stationery package. I know how, like, oh, I know it's a little weird, but but I had wanted to see if I could find another one because that was like an instant coffee and it was one of the best that I've ever had. So part of that is that I found a shop online called the Japanese Green Tea Shop that is actually, let's see, I'm not sure my pronunciation is good enough to pronounce where this is out of, but Japan, it's out of Japan. And I placed an order for a whole bunch of different coffees. So I had originally been told that this would take about 3 months to arrive just because of all the issues with shipping lately. It actually took more like 1.5, which is great. So I'm gonna open this up, we're gonna see what's in it, we're gonna try some coffee, and then we're gonna make a project. So standard Sips and Stitches in that regard. Let's see, I'm gonna open it from the bottom because I don't want to cut through the customs document. Let's see, this box is weird. And it's funny actually because around the same time I started looking through this stuff, my sister, who watches a lot of K-dramas, also became interested in this because she wanted to see if she could find the type of coffee her favorite characters have been drinking. So she has been drinking, I think it's Maxim White Gold, for at least a month now. We found that at one of the online Asian markets we've been buying from. So she was happy. But now it's time to see if I can find my stuff. So interesting, they taped it on the inside and the outside. Never seen that before. Okay. Okay, there's a whole bunch of little packages in here. So we've got Nescafe Gold Blend. I think this one's a black coffee, but everything is in Japanese. So I will have to refer back to their website because they have translations on the actual website. Black in Box from AGF, which is a few different black coffees to try. I think it's 2 of each of the different ones. AGF, this one I think was the black iced coffee. Don't hold me to that. Black in Box, these are 8 different ones. These are like Colombian blend, Kilimanjaro blend, that sort of stuff. So it's the same brand, but even more different types of black coffee. And we got UCC, the blend stick. I'm assuming I bought all of these black, although I can't actually, like I said, I'm gonna have to refer back to my order. AGF Blendy, I have a lot of these ones now. And then some of the other ones I got are a little different. So you know with the copper cow, how it fits over the top of the cup and you pour through that? So there are other companies out of Japan and Korea and other surrounding countries that do something similar. So like a little disposable pour over thingy. So I have some of those to try as well. So this one is 4 different levels, I think. So like a light roast, 2 medium roast, and a dark roast, I think. And this one's heavy. What is this? Okay, that's different. I'll talk about that in a second. This one is more of the pour overs, but they're like different blends. They're named after different cities in Japan. So Tokyo, Nagoya, Kobe, Kyoto, Sapporo. Can't read the others because they're blocked. That's a bunch of different. I'm going to assume inspired by those cities. I think. It looks like the packages are really, really pretty though. That's cool. Okay, so yeah, those are it for the coffee. And then beyond that, I got some matcha. I don't think I ordered this. This might have been a free gift because I don't remember this. And powdered royal milk tea. Yeah. All right, awesome. So this is a lot of stuff to try. Way more than I could fit in one video, especially since I want Mike to try the stuff too. And most of these packages, like at least half of them, have multiple different blends in them. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this into 3 separate sips tastings. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to divide it yet though. So when Mike gets home, I will ask his opinion about which ones he wants to try today, and then we will save the other ones for the next video. Like each month I do about 2, right? Sips and stitches, or sips and shuttles. One of them has the sips by box, one of them doesn't. So we'll just keep doing that. Yeah, but these are a lot to try and I'm so excited, especially for the pour over ones from that are inspired by the different cities, because the art on the little packets is really, really pretty, and I want to see if the coffee compares to the art. So I'm gonna go get these set up so he can look through them when he gets home. Alright, so for the first set of tests from this particular batch of coffee, we decided to go with one of the blackened boxes because each of these is 4 different flavors, and 4 is about the max we can do comfortably before it's just too much coffee to drink at once. I mean, we had one of those packages out there has 8 separate flavors in it, and then we have 2 of these, each with 4 different flavors, and then like, I don't even remember, there's like 6 more besides that, so it's a lot to try. But we're going to start with these 4. So this one has 4 different lightness levels. So we got a light roast, medium roast, a full city roast, and a deep roast, and then they're color coded, so the package comes with 2 of each in it. And I'm pretty sure you can buy a full pack of individual roasts if there's one of them you really like. So I got them all lined up and we can try them out.
Yeah, look normal.
And they just look like coffee. It's instant coffee. I added a teaspoon of sugar and like a tablespoon of half and half to each one.
I've had some pretty nasty.
I mean,
pretty nasty instant coffee. So.
Instant coffee I've had from the United States has been pretty gross, but I have had some really good instant coffee from overseas, and I want to see if these are good or not.
So you got light blend?
Yeah, this one's the light blend.
Okay.
I would add more sugar. I went light on the sugar, and if I like any of them, I'll add more. But I wanted to get a feel for the taste of the coffee first before I oversweetened
yeah, definitely
it.
needs more sugar.
But the actual coffee's not bad.
No, it needs more flavor though. No, the sugar will give that.
Well, yeah, more sugar would be good. So that was the light one. This one's the medium. And you can sort of see the difference in the actual cups.
Yeah.
They are very slightly darker as you go across.
I wasn't prepared for exactly how hot.
Okay, this one,
made that,
I could smell it as I went to take a sip, and I think this one's going to be my favorite. This one's the medium.
Yeah, it does have a different.
And the cool thing is, I'm pretty sure they also have pour-over versions of these different roasts, so we don't have to get the instant coffee, but I wanted instant coffee to bring to work. I like this one, though.
My tongue.
Well, yes, they're very hot.
I'm not gonna have a tongue when I'm done with this.
What do you think of the flavor, though?
I like that. I like both so far.
Yeah, I mean, these are, as far as instant coffee goes,
still
these are really
more
good.
Sugar.
I know.
I know.
I went light for a reason, but
I know. I'm just saying.
the amount of sugar I would normally put in this is probably 2.5 times what I put in.
You put what, 1?
Well, for a cup this size, I would do probably 3 teaspoons of sugar.
What'd you do with it?
I did 1 in each.
That's why. We're used to like 2 or 3.
I'm not into that one. Take it by the handle. It's too hot to hold it the other way. The Full City Roast blend tastes a lot like the Boss
smell.
Coffee Rainbow blend, which has kind of like a fruit taste to it to me, and that's not really what I like in coffee. If you like a fruitier coffee, that would probably be good. This one's not for me.
I can honestly say, so far, they all kind of taste the same to me.
Why do I have you do this with me? No, I'm kidding.
I'm being honest.
They all taste different and distinct to me.
Maybe you got a better palate than I do. I don't know.
Maybe.
It also could be I don't have any feeling in my tongue either.
No, they are very hot. Okay, this one's the dark.
Dark
Well,
roast.
they call it deep roast, but I think that means dark roast.
I would say it's the same thing. It should have more of a burnt taste, probably.
More bitterness, but
Oh, excuse me.
I like it.
Apologize.
Yeah, you can try it. I don't know. It's not a chocolate type dark roast. Like sometimes you'll have a dark roast coffee and it has like a cocoa taste to it. This isn't that, but it's not a bad flavor. It's got a full flavor.
I can definitely tell between this and this. These two have a very distinct smell.
Yeah.
I did notice that.
I mean, smell is just as
And
important
this
as
one's
taste.
cooler.
Well, yes.
Weird.
I ran out of water and I went to boil more, but I rushed it so it wasn't quite as hot as the other ones.
It's not bad. They all taste good. I like
Yeah,
them all.
I mean, I would happily drink all of these. I think my favorites are the medium and the deep. But they're all good. Mike likes the medium and the Full City. Okay, cool. You can have the Full City one if you want. All right.
Again, am I wrong?
You can taste them again if
I
you
know
want.
the medium was. I did like the medium.
But yeah, they're not
Maybe it was medium
bad.
light.
And I'm looking forward to trying the other one. Because the other one has one that's called a mocha blend, but it doesn't actually have chocolate in it. They're all just coffee, which makes me think it's probably like a mocha dark roast. I wish I could
Kind
read
of like
this.
light too.
But yeah, these are all good. I like these.
So which one do you want? You want the light and the?
Ooh.
Oh.
Don't you dare.
Oh. That was
All right.
so bad.
So that about settles the coffee tasting for this particular video. So yeah, I definitely recommend the AGF Black & Box if you find it and want to try it. This one is the ones that are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they have darkness levels. There is other Black & Boxes that have different flavors. So we're gonna go finish all this coffee and then we're gonna go pick up the yarn. I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so I was going back through my in progress videos and I still have like a handful of them from the previous apartment. So I settled on working on the coffee one. So you just watched us open the coffee and taste test the coffee. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do for a project for that Sips and Stitches, but while browsing online, I found this book. So this is the Amazing Japanese Crochet Stitches, Stitch Dictionary and Design Resource by Keiko Okamoto, and I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. I did listen to a pronunciation first, but I'm not necessarily good at copying them. So anyway, this is a really interesting book. So I just received my copy yesterday, and it is very different from my other Stitch dictionaries. I did not recognize a lot of the designs in this, so that was nice. But most interestingly to me is that it seems to be pretty much entirely charts. So I have never actually worked from charts. They are fascinating to look at, but a little overwhelming, a little intimidating, if I'm being honest. So this is a new to me resource. I have flipped through it a few times. There's not really that much reading because it's mostly pictures and charts, but I did read the parts that there were to read. So I wanted to pick a couple stitches and try to see if I can learn them from the charts. And since I have so many Japanese coffees left to try from that shop, I figure, I'll try the coffees, work on a stitch from the book, and that'll be those until I'm out of the coffees to try. So for today, we're going to be working on, and none of the stitches have names either, so it's not like I can look them up online. When you look at them, it has a number, and then it says the type of yarn she used in the hook. So these are not names of the stitches, this is the name of the yarn. And the one I want to try is down here. So that's number 39. And it looks like some sort of ribbed herringbone. Is that the right word? I think that's the right word. But that, based on the chart, that doesn't seem to be what it is. So from the picture, it looks like it would use some sort of front post or back post crochet, but from the chart, it looks like it's mostly made of chain stitches and single and double crochet with no front post or back post, I think. Pretty sure. So I'm gonna set up the other camera and grab some worsted weight yarn for us to test this out in, and we're gonna see if I can get it to look like the picture. Alright, so after playing with the swatch for a while, I did end up unraveling it and making a circle for me to do a hat with this stitch instead, so I can at least try working with it in the round, because that's more my thing anyways. But I do think I roughly understand what they were going for with the instructions in the book, although I'm not 100%. So let me see if I can open it up and just show you that part. Alright, so this here. So I'm not 100% certain where they wanted me to do some of the stitches. So I kind of figured out my own way of doing it that does give a look very similar to this. So I'm hoping ultimately that what I did is pretty much right. So I have my notes here of what I was figuring out. I don't want to show too much of the book because, you know, I'm not the writer of the book, so I don't want to step on any toes, but we're going to work on it in the round. Now the pattern did say to do multiples of 12, so I did my standard circle of 12 stitches and then circular increases until I'm up to 6 times 12 or 72 stitches around. So there's going to be 6 pattern repeats. And the next part of the pattern was to do, well, technically if you were looking at it, this would be the beginning of it, but since I was working in the round, this is where we are right now. I'm going to do a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet the whole way around. So I'm going to go into time lapse and we're going to go do that. Alright, so I ended up doing 2 rows because that's what's needed to start the actual pattern part. And looking at it, I'm going to flip this inside out because whatever part I do the pattern on will be the right side of the fabric, the part that you're going to see when you wear the hat, and I just think that this part looks a little better for the top part as opposed to this. I don't know, I always like the, I guess, wrong side of double crochet. I always think it looks a little bit better than the side I actually worked with. So basically, if I understood the instructions correctly, which given that it was a what do you call it, diagram, my brain's not really with it at the moment, chart. Given that it was a chart instead of written instructions, I am only kind of guessing how to do it. I am not super good at charts, but if I understand it correctly, what we are doing is on the even side, on the even rows, we're going to be building this mesh. While on the odd rows, we're going to be building the herringbone, you know, up and down chevron thing. So, two different things going on at the same time. When we are doing the even rows, it's going to follow this same pattern of chain one, double crochet into the double crochet from the previous row, chain one, double crochet into the double crochet from the previous row, and just try to keep it like an even-ish mesh. When we do the odd rows, it's going to be attaching it to a double crochet, chaining 5, attaching to a double crochet, chaining 5, attaching to a double crochet, and going up and down like that. And that's just kind of how it works. So I am going to try to show you how that works. So this is one of the odd rows. I'm going to chain 1, single crochet into the top of the first double crochet, chain 5, 4, 5, and then this is the part where I wasn't 100% sure I was doing it right, because I was kind of guessing, but it said in the, well, it showed in the instructions a single crochet onto or into a stitch from the previous row. So I ended up doing is going 1, 2, 3 over, down 1 row, and then looping the stitch around the bar and doing a single crochet there. Although I have something stuck in my hook. What is that? Okay, there we go. Don't know where that came from. Okay, single crochet, and then 5 again, and 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the top of this double crochet up here. I keep getting something stuck on it right here. And then it creates this V shape. Can you see that? So that's what we're going to do for the entirety of this row. Alright, I got to the end of that row and realized it was actually every 3, not every 4, so my math was all screwed up. I unraveled it and did it again, and I will show you how to do it correctly in the next odd round. But for now, I want to show you how to do the even rounds. So we're going to continue building this mesh. So behind all of this nonsense, we're going to continue doing the same pattern we were doing before. So a double crochet into the double crochet spaces and a chain space above the chain spaces. The only thing is we did single crochet into the top of some of these double crochet spaces. So I still tried a double crochet in there. It might make more sense to single crochet in those ones. I'm not sure. I haven't been doing this pattern long enough to say for sure. You can try it both ways and see which way you like better. For me, I'm going to continue doing double crochet just because then it keeps to the same pattern and I don't have to think as much for the mesh rounds. But yeah, we just keep doing the same thing. So double crochet, chain 1, find your double crochet space. Well, it's the top of the previous double crochet stitch, so it's not like it should be that hard to find necessarily. And then this is the single crochet one. I'm going to double crochet in there. I even considered doing a half double in that part, but I really think I want to just continue doing the double so that I can continue with the same pattern and just keep the mesh as even as possible. You might like it the other way, who knows? just continue doing that the whole way around, working with the single crochet spots as best as possible. And it is a little bit mind-bending when you're using a yarn that changes color this much. You might want to try this with a solid color if you are attempting it, just so you can see what you're doing a little better. I might change to a solid color next round for a stripe on this hat, but also so that you can see what I'm doing a little better when I explain the, I'm just going to keep calling it fishbone because I don't know what else to call it. It kind of looks, once there's more rows of it, like fish bones. And try not to trap the fish bones in your stitches. They should be relatively loose and sit on top like a separate entity. I don't know what to call it exactly. It's just kind of there on top of what you're doing. It's like working two different types of crochet pattern at the same time, and they interlock with each other a little bit. Oh, and before I forget, these are Malabrigo yarns that I'm using. So this is leftovers from one I used in a previous video. I can link to that. And I'll put the name of the colorway in the description below. And then I also have another scrap of Malabrigo here that I'll be using for the color stripes so you can see what I'm doing a little better. Like I said, I'll just put all the colors in the description so you can see that if you want to get these in particular for any reason. And the hook is Chowgu. Trying to think if there's any other materials you're going to see in this. Probably not, but there'll be a link to the book I'm working out of and the yarns at least. What happened there? Messed up something. Oh, okay. I interlocked just like I told you not to do. Yeah, and the stitch behind the line, not through it. Almost to the end of the row, and then I can show you how to do the fishbone thing. At the end of it. Alright, so set that yarn aside for the moment. I'm going to switch to this color just so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Alright, so top of this first double crochet, we are going to do a single crochet because this is the first one. Then we are going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't make them too tight. Now if you look, this double crochet here, 3 rows down is where we stitched around for the last row. So we're going to go run 1 row above that. So that is 1, 2, 3 over, down 1. So around this post here. Single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you look at it. So this is back up, 1, 2, 3. So this one here is the one we're going to stitch into the top of. So right here. So that is from where we first stitched. So the single crochet is in the top of this double crochet here, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over, and that's the next one we're going to be single crocheting into the top of. This math works out better than the one I tried for the previous attempt, so I do recommend you try this. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1, 2, 3, down 1, single crochet around the bar, one, 2, 3, 4, 5. Find your row that you single crocheted into the last time, which is 5 over from your last single crochet into that double crochet, and you'll start getting lines of V's as you go. They're not perfect, but they are interesting. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. And my neighbors are playing loud music. I hope you can't hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you go, you'll probably get faster as you figure out what you're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up here. I mean, I guess if I wanted to, I could do around the post for these as well, but I think it'll line up better if I do it on top. Otherwise, I'm concerned about it messing up where I put my stitches for the mesh rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm back at the beginning, and I just slip into that. All right, so that is about it for the actual pattern. I'm just going to continue working on this until I finish the hat, and I will show you pictures when it's done at the end of this video. But that's about it for what I wanted to do for this stitch tutorial. I do really heavily recommend this book. I have a few more stitch patterns bookmarked for me to look at in the future, but it is really interesting. You can see a few of the ideas on the back they showed. That one in particular, I'll probably never make it, but I like all the flowers that she uses. So I'd highly recommend checking out that book, and I highly recommend checking out the different Japanese coffees I talked about. I'll have some links in the description to places you can go to try those out, just if you're not sure where to buy that sort of stuff. And I guess that's about it for this particular Sips and Stitches. So I hope to see you all soon, and thank you so much for watching.